So Spurs fans wearing a lot of yellow today because the colour change means their team will be foregoing their normal white shirts. So yellow is the Tottenham colour this afternoon, and yellow ribbons, one presumes, will be on the FA Cup if Tottenham win it. Queen's Park Rangers, whose fans saw the club grow up very much in the 1960s. Earlier on, they were merely another third division team. But Jim Gregory, the chairman, built a new ground, and the club made progress into the first division, and now, although they're back in the second division, they've had a great year, putting down their new synthetic pitch and reaching the FA Cup final. And the two teams are on their way. Moment of stillness inside the stadium while the players are still hidden from the view of the crowd, but they're on their way up that tunnel now. Queen's Park Rangers on the left as we look, Tottenham Hotspur on the right. Conversation between the two managers as the vast crowd inside the stadium welcome the teams. Terry Venables on the far side, a director of the club as well as manager, always a buoyant character. And Keith Birkinshaw on the near side, who has now been to Wembley with his club 5 times in the space of 12 months. What a record. So let's check again on the lineup. The Queen's Park Rangers team includes 8 London-born players in this Cockney final. Only Ian Gillard and Tony Curry have played senior football at Wembley. That was for England, although Clive Allen was here as a schoolboy, and Peter Hucker has been on the pitch as a junior. The top scorer is Simon Stainrod, number 10, but he could have a special role today. In the end, Tottenham field 8 of last year's cup-winning side. Ray Clements is in goal for Emilia Alexic, and the absence of the 2 Argentines means places for Mick Hazard and Paul Price, with Graham Roberts pushing into midfield. Number 6, Steve Perryman, and number 9, Tony Galvin, not 100% fit perhaps, but hoping after intensive treatment to get through the FA Cup final. And what a family occasion for Clive Allen, whose father played here in 2 finals, 1 for each club. Clive, who scored the winner in the semi-final for Queen's Park Rangers, and up in the stand he's being watched by a whole colony of Allens. 2 captains now in the centre circle, with Clive White, the referee, and his 3 assistants. I say 3 because his 2 linesmen are Alex Hamill of Wolverhampton with the red flag, Terry Mitchell of Bath with the yellow, and a reserve official, Ray Guy of Liverpool, who's on hand should anything go wrong. Tony Curry, the man whose long passing game is the Rangers' answer, or could be, to Glenn Hoddle. Great contrast between the goalkeepers. Ray Clements in his 8th Wembley final and his 37th appearance at the stadium in all. He's the oldest player in the match at 33. And he wishes all the best to his opposite number, 22-year-old Peter Hucker, in his first season as the Rangers goalkeeper. Graham Roberts, who thought he would be playing in the back 4, but finds himself in the engine room in midfield. Clive White from nearby Harrow, who will also be officiating in the forthcoming World Cup. Just a reminder of the colours. It's Rangers in red playing from the right, Spurs in yellow, and the 101st FA Cup final is underway. On a pitch which has been softened a little by overnight rain, which will have pleased the players who felt it was a little hard yesterday. On by Flanagan for Steinrod. Miller is marking him. That's Steinrod's cross. Allen is on the far side. And a corner given. And it's free kicks and corners where Queen's Park Rangers pick up so many goals. Fenwick is forward on the edge of the box. Gregory is also dangerous. There are 4 men waiting to make a run in from about 25 yards out in a big bunch. And Gregory got up and it fell away on the far side from Flanagan. So Hoddle for Spurs. Tony Galvin, whose fitness is still in question. Crooks, Hazard, Tony Curry, cross to Gillard. Well, Miller and Pelliman went for the same ball. This is Waddock. Steinrod, foul. Graham Roberts on Gary Waddock. A word from Clive White to Roberts. Free kick taken quickly. Flanagan looks for Gregory. And the ball skimming across the 6-yard area as Gregory threatened. Crooks has made his run down the left as well. This is Galvin. Tony Galvin's had 3 injuries in all this week. Hamstring, black eye and a puffed up knee. But he made it. That was Hoddle. Then Hazel. Steinrod. The long throw of Simon Steinrod can be a Rangers weapon. John Gregory is on the 6-yard line. Bob Hazel has made a run forward into the box, marked by Garth Crooks. Hazel got up well. Hoddle's half clearance. Waddock shot. These Rangers set pieces, something Tottenham have got to concentrate on all the time, and Bob Hazel coming forward from the back can always be dangerous. Here's Crooks. Outside him is Tony Galvin, 2 the other way. That's Crooks' shot! Oh, what a fine save by Peter Hucker. Brilliantly tipped over from Garth Crooks. The first moment of excitement, and Crooks let one fly there from 20 yards. What a good save. Lovely to see Crooks take his chance there of a shot on the run. Hoddle. Archibald. Hazard. Away for Rangers partially by Waddock. Here's Hazard. Hoddle. Miller's still well forward. This is Roberts. And now it's Galvin. Good play by Tottenham. And now it's Hoddle. And Archibald is going in. Impressive little spell from Spurs. And the first word of the afternoon from Jimmy Hill.
Fascinating first 7 or 8 minutes, John. That was just the second time where Spurs have threatened. Rangers have looked so confident. They've made a very good start for the supposed underdogs. Very, very cool. But if they're going to give Crooks and Archibald that sort of room up front, I think they're going to be punished for it. Interesting, though, the way they think they can threaten Spurs with the high ball. They've already made that obvious that they've seen the weakness in the air in the Spurs defence. They're going to try and threaten that, but Spurs have still got the class where it counts.
The target there is Archibald. Here he is again. Hoddle stretching to beat Curry. Oh, what a good tackle by Roberts. Here's Archibald. That's a good effort too. Well, Spurs may not have Ardiles or Villar to decorate the midfield, but they've got Graham Roberts to bring aggression in the tackle. Just look at the way he won the ball there against two opponents and enabled Archibald to set himself for a shot. Flanagan. The game is flowing well early on. Been playing 10 minutes. Here's Curry. This is Waddock. John Gregory. Rain just beginning to fall slightly. They make the pitch look greasy on top. And a long ball from Paul Miller, making Roda turn. Tony Galvin with the throw, looking for Archibald. Galvin. Roberts. Shot from Roberts. And it's Flanagan for Rangers. Waddock also down this side. Gregory now, letting it run, but only as far as Galvin. In fact, it was meant for Curry, that. This is Tony Galvin for Tottenham. And Archibald in space. He was brought down, Galvin, and the referee pulls the play back. Bob Hazel getting desperate and being spoken to by the referee. Tottenham might have thought the ball should have been released a bit earlier. Look where Archibald is on the left, but as he tried to release it, he was fouled, Galvin, by Hazel. In fact, Bob Hazel, in making the challenge, appears to have hurt himself more than he hurt Tony Galvin. As the Rangers trainer Dave Butler goes off, it's a quick free kick for Hoddle to try one, which is exactly what happened last year from very similar distance when he saved the first final for Spurs against Manchester City. The little touch on the ball which leaves Hoddle to shoot, but this time off target. Was Miller. Simon Stainrod for Rangers, but Perryman was in so quickly. Archibald. Crooks is pulled away into the centre. Galvin is also there. That was Hazard. And Roda. Tottenham for the moment have the advantage. Hazard supporting from just behind the strikers. Here's Crooks against Gillard and against Waddock, and they blocked him. Free kick. Obstruction. Miller arrived there, and he's still in there. The rebound favoured Rangers rather, but Tottenham still have possession with Perryman. 1 or 2 runs being made here into space. Archibald. That was very, very awkward, Roberts, but the ball's already over the line. The ball was already on the top of the net, put there by Peter Hucker from Archibald's cross for a corner. Although Graham Roberts, seeing the ball come back, was quick to put it into the net. Galvin short to Hazard. That's his shot, and Hucker turned it away, and there's Roberts offside against Steve Archibald in the 6-yard box. Spurs adopting a shoot-on-sight policy, and isn't it working well? Mick Hazard driving it from the corner of the penalty area. The goalkeeper can only push it back into play. Watch the player on the 6-yard line, he's offside. Beaten in the tackle by Glenn Hoddle. Hazard looks for Crooks. Hoddle now being pursued by Waddock. They had 3 round him then, did Rangers. And Hazel maybe a little unsettled by the injury, but he managed to find Stainrod, who found Waddock, and in turn he found Gillard. Good movement this by Queen's Park Rangers. Gregory has pushed well forward into the attack. This is Fenwick. Stainrod. Tackle was by Roberts, a good clean one, who went for the ball and won it. Crooks. Having a good match so far, Garth Crooks. Archibald. Man coming up on his right is Steve Perryman. Spurs have got 4 in the centre. Tackle was by Gillard. And so was the pass to Allen. Gregory's header. Roberts just putting the foot in rather there on Flanagan. Rangers took the free kick instantly and found Fenwick. Looking for Flanagan. Price's header. There's a coolness about Tottenham, speaking for the fact they've been here so often recently. Here's Archibald, who couldn't beat Roda. Curry for Rangers. Now Gregory. Hoddle, the early ball, a beauty to Archibald. If he can just get a touch on it, he could find Crooks to his left. And Crooks is it just a bit wide there, though. And Bob Hazel blocked him. Garth Crooks was just driven a shade wide. First touch might not have been as good as it might have been, but Glenn Hoddle's pass, which began the move, through to Archibald. Another superb piece of play. Spurs bench and the Rangers officials, Terry Venables, the manager, not very far away. It's a side-by-side job down there on Cup final day. Here's Perryman. That's lifted up towards Archibald, and it found him, and he's got it down and shot over. Well, he'll be pleased with his first touch there, Steve Archibald. He controlled the ball wonderfully well, as it was driven through over the head of the defender, Roda. Archibald got it down, but the shot was too high. Here's Hazard for them now. Still Hazard, that's good play by Hazard, and a smart save again by Peter Hucker. Nearly all the shots coming from Spurs. Gillard. Gregory, but that could be a dangerous sign in its own way, because Queen's Park Rangers are used to surviving and then coming forward with a certain amount of thought and trickery. In the meantime, they're stretched by Hoddle's crossfield ball to Crooks, and Graham Roberts in space. Can he hook it on to Archibald? In fact, it came off Waddock. Curry. Steinrod. Two to his right. Again, the Tottenham tackling was firm by Steve Perryman, who's shown no signs of his thigh muscle injury in the first half. Spurs will be hoping it stays that way, and also that Galvin gets no reaction either out on the left wing to his injury. Crooks. Hazard, nice play. Hazard still. Ran out of space, rather. Actually, Mickey Hazard and the Rangers right back, Terry Fenwick, used to play schoolboy football against each other in the northeast. They're the only two players in this All-London final from that hotbed of football. Mick's from Sunderland and Terry Fenwick from nearby Seaham. Roberts checking Gregory in the air, then it was Curry. And now it's Galvin. Allen quick to close him down. So Price for Spurs. Looking for Archibald. Hazard. Oh, the quality of Tottenham shooting, not as good as it might have been. And indeed, Garth Crooks to Hazard's left there would have appreciated a pass. Foul by Price, climbing on Steinrod. There may well be a fair amount of stoppage time for Clive White to add on at the end of the first half. So it's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Taken by Curry. Fenwick has crept up on this side. Bob Hazel is in there with Ray Clements, and a free kick given. Bob Hazel backing into the goalkeeper. Ray, whose Tottenham career started here in the FA Charity Shield, and who won an FA Cup Winners' Medal here with Liverpool in 1974, when the score was 0-0 at half-time and his team went on to win 3-0. And the end of the first half, which has belonged territorially and in terms of shooting opportunity to Tottenham, but Queen's Park Rangers have held them at bay, and Tony Curry perhaps explaining how Rangers might improve on that, and also nursing a bit of a pull in the thigh, we think. Peter Hucker made one outstanding save early on, the first time he was called upon from Garth Crooks. Spurs, having had more of the play, but unable to make it count, as the two managers, Keith Birkinshaw and behind him Terry Venables, make their way off at half-time with a score of Rangers 0, Spurs 0. Tony Curry stretching the muscles at the start of the second half, but certainly intending to carry on. Bob Hazel, just to the left, has had half-time treatment for a kick on the calf. So those have been Rangers' two casualties. So Hoddle. And now Price. It's Clive Allen, who's stuck mainly to the right. This was the Rangers' plan, to try and keep Allen fairly wide on this side and Flanagan on the left, and get Steinrod forward from deep positions into the hole in the centre, but he went through too quickly there and got caught offside. But certainly he was told, Simon Steinrod, to perhaps play rather deeper today, as he did at times in the semi-final. This is Perryman. Crooks. Little ball into Hazard. Glenn Hoddle is in support. And he almost found Archibald. And Spurs get a free kick. And Bob Hazel, who I think is still hobbling rather. Spurs get a free kick in classic Glenn Hoddle territory. Just a yard, or well, more than a yard or two, but near enough to the edge of the penalty area for Hoddle to conjure something up. And that was Hoddle, and it's too high. And Bob Hazel is now in more trouble than Tony Curry was. He's limping quite badly. Gary Micklewhite gets prepared. Just got a feeling that Clive Allen in the Rangers attack may also have been nursing a knock. He certainly went in there for a fairly heavy challenge. And Allen is going to go off and be substituted by Micklewhite. It wasn't a particularly obvious injury, but Clive Allen is clearly the man Rangers have replaced. What a disappointment on the day when his family were packed in the stand. So he was in a worse way, it would seem, than either Hazel or Curry. And the Allen family, who hoped it would be a day of celebration, see 21-year-old Clive had his birthday on Thursday, substituted sadly early in the second half by Gary Micklewhite. That's a good ball by Fenwick to Flanagan. Stainrod with the long throw. Gregory is hovering dangerously, so is Hazel. Spurs had players back to cover both. Stainrod. Houghton away. And now it's Archibald as Spurs come streaming out. Crooks. Oh, it's a delightful ball from Glenn Hoddle to Tony Galvin. It was brilliant. Here's Hazard. Steve Archibald making ground into the centre now. Hazard's looking for Archibald. He stretched and couldn't make it. But the move began with possibly the best ball of the afternoon from Glenn Hoddle. Delicate, precise, and very dangerous. It put Tottenham in motion, and when the cross came in, Archibald was no more than a yard away. Curry. And Curry being hassled by Chris Houghton. And halfway through the second half, a kick. A definite kick by Garth Crooks on Terry Fenwick. Crooks saying that something happened earlier on him, but retaliation is not allowed. And although Glenn Roeder has a consoling word, I'm pretty certain Garth Crooks will be booked by referee Clive White. Crooks is saying that he was kicked first, but Tony Curry and Terry Fenwick got involved a bit tight there. Fenwick goes on. I think Crooks felt Fenwick caught him high in the first place, and he chipped back at Fenwick's ankles. Clive Allen, the signs of the ankle injury very clear there. The sock off now. Straight to Archibald. And he's found Crooks. And Crooks fires wide. A mistake by Bob Hazel, which has gone unpunished by Tottenham.
Garth Crooks has had two chances from the left-hand side of the goal, and in both occasions his first control has played the ball too wide and made the angle worse. Can you see that there, how he was straining to try and hook it back in? But if that first control had been better, his shot, the final shot, would have been that much more easy. And a bad mistake there by Bob Hazel, but he's battling on despite the injury.
Up goes Miller, here's Perryman. And Hazel blasts that one straight to Roberts. And Spurs now moving forward with 5 players. Hazard's through the inside right position. Here's Crooks, the ball running on. Again his first touch. Jimmy Hill's point borne out entirely there. Garth Crooks couldn't control the ball. Here's Tony Curry. Hoddle. Looking up quickly, but not getting away from Gary Waddock. He did the second time. Oh, what a good ball by Hoddle. That was tremendous. Archibald now, only Crooks in the middle at the moment for him. It's still Archibald. Made room for the shot, but it had no power. But the delivery to Archibald from Glenn Hoddle was again something for us all to admire. Ball struck from 40 yards, and he got away from number 4 Waddock at the second attempt, just long enough to strike that pass. Certainly the game as a spectacle falling away a little, but Curry's trying to put that right. He's found Flanagan, who tried to find Stainrod, and they appeal for handball. The referee says corner. They all come piling in together here. Bob Hazley is up, so is Fenwick, and Hazard's miscue has put Tottenham in terrible trouble. Luckily for him, Price saw the ball clearly, headed back by Roda, and Clements can come. Nice throw by the goalkeeper too, to give Garth Crooks a chance to get Tottenham moving. Archibald's gone through the centre, and this could be it! Archibald is through on the goalkeeper for Spurs, and Hooker has saved! And Archibald goes and sinks to his knees. That is the miss of the match so far. The throw from Clements to Crooks, the perfect through pass. He had too much time, really. He lost control almost, and Hooker got a hand to the shot. Roberts is coming in. Header by Roda. Tony Galvin handball, was it by Flanagan? Free kick to Spurs. Galvin and Hooker in the right place this time. Seven minutes to go, still 0-0, still terribly tight and tense. Waddock offside against Micklewhite. Just how important will that save prove to be, I wonder? Certainly, at that moment in time, it kept Queen's Park Rangers in the match and may well have deprived Spurs, temporarily at least, of the FA Cup. Well, it looks as though we might be on for extra time for the second year running. Bear in mind it happened to Spurs last season against Manchester City here in the first match. Just over 6 minutes, and Hooker punches that one when he could have caught it. Here's Hoddle. Houghton. Archibald, can he put this one in? Gillard was the defender who saved Rangers, and it won't go in for Archibald. Houghton. Hazard. That wasn't a bad effort. In his last match for Queen's Park Rangers, well, I say last, there could be a replay, of course, in his last season with Queen's Park Rangers, Ian Gillard stepping in there to deprive Steve Archibald, because that too could have been the conclusive moment. QPR fans roaring their team, they hope, towards extra time at least. That's Perryman. 5 minutes to go. Archibald for Spurs. He's had those two chances. Will there be another one? Crooks. Hazard. There might be here. Oh, he's trodden on the ball, would you believe? And still Rangers don't clear it properly. Roberts. Hoddle. Little ball in for Perryman. Can the captain do it? Oh, and Hooker was brilliant and brave. He's hurt as well. Nobody's fault. It was a genuine collision, but my word, Steve Perryman, the captain of Tottenham, almost had the perfect finish there to the afternoon. Hoddle chipped the ball in. It was again a lovely pass. Perryman chested it down, and look how bravely Hooker dived at Perryman's feet. But full marks to this lad here. Peter Hooker is becoming the hero of this final. Now, could Rangers, from that sort of platform, break away and win it, I wonder? Football can be as quirkish as that sometimes. Curry. He's looking for Stainrod. He's found him. And a corner to Rangers. Curry's going across to take it. Played right back for Glenn Roeder to volley. That's another pre-rehearsed Rangers move where all the other players go tearing into the area and he hangs back. Just about 3 minutes or less of normal time remaining. On by Hoddle. Spurs, whose long season could still hang very much in the balance in terms of finishing up with a trophy, and if it does, well, they'll rue those last few misses. But they may have time here to build something with Chris Hughton. Galvin's found a good position here. Hazard, and this is going to be Hoddle to strike one, and the goalkeeper got down and again saved. And even a nice sporting, as Hoddle's shot was taken at the second attempt, a sporting pat on the head for Peter Hucker from Steve Archibald, because this goalkeeper, unknown before this season in big-time football, has excelled himself this afternoon. Miller. Curry. Free kick. Tackle was by Roberts. From Hazel. Looking up to see if Steinrod's in position, which he is. Nice turn by Steinrod, and Clements forced to go down in the end very hurriedly. May have seen it a fraction late. And the referee blows for the end of normal time, and those tired limbs, thanks to the brave and bold goalkeeping of Peter Hucker, the tired limbs of both teams asked to sustain a further 30 minutes. Spurs have had the better of the 90 minutes, they've had more of the chances, but the score at the end of that period is 0-0, and a quick word in summary at this stage from Jimmy Hill.
Well, as you say, John, Spurs have had the best of the chances, but it's not over, thanks to that magnificent goalkeeping performance, as you've mentioned, and also a great kind of captain's role at the back from Glenn Roeder. He's remained so cool in the Ranger defence, propping up Bob Hazel and doing his job really well, and that's why Rangers are still in the game, and we're going to extra time.
The 9th time we've had extra time at Wembley, and the 2nd year running, and never before has there been a Wembley final without a goal, so maybe we shall see one in this second period. The goal attempts, by the way, up to now, 17 from Spurs and 11 from Queen's Park Rangers, which tends to reflect Tottenham's overall superiority, but that counts for nothing. It's a question now of who is stronger in the extra 30 minutes. And as I was saying before the end of normal time, you could argue a case for either side. Spurs have had the more arduous season, but Queen's Park Rangers appear to have one or two players who've taken knocks today, whereas Galvin and Perryman appear to have come through well up to now. Rangers then, playing from right to left. This time last year, between Spurs and Manchester City, it was 1-1. There was no further scoring. We went to a replay. And that's a replay which Rangers, anyway, would have to play without their captain, Glenn Roeder. Steinrod, mistake by Miller. Steinrod's in. And Micklewhite was almost in. Good ball out to Flanagan by Gregory. And Flanagan makes a terrible hash of it. Well, there have been two moments in this match when a defensive error could have settled it. Paul Miller will feel just as relieved as Bob Hazel felt earlier, in that his mistake didn't result in a goal. It's Garth Crooks with the chest control, but it's Tony Curry who, as we mentioned earlier, seems to have shaken off that early injury. Directing operations here again for Queen's Park Rangers. It's a fair ball towards Flanagan, and can Flanagan reach it? All those years of experience when Ray Clements played as an extra sweeper sometimes behind the Liverpool defence, that's really helped Tottenham this season. This is Steve Perryman then. Archibald. Perryman again. Player line square is Roberts. Number 7. Houghton has pushed well forward. Chris Houghton, overran it when he saw his path clear. He'll remember this match for a very long time, the Queen's Park Rangers goalkeeper. Probably the rest of his life, I should think. Micklewhite. Hazel. There are 2 players making forward runs here. One of them is Stainrod, number 10. That quick distribution of Clements to Perryman has given Tottenham time to build up some useful attacks. This could be another one. He's found Hazard. Oh, and Archibald is onside. Another clear chance for him. And again he's missed it. The Rangers players are furious. They've gone to Clive White, appealing for offside. And as Jimmy Hill's always said, they're split-second decisions, those, and so often the linesman is right. He may just have hung on there. You couldn't tell from that angle, really, but certainly the flag stayed down. And Archibald, for the second time, was clean through and couldn't score. Here's Flanagan for Rangers. Micklewhite's made his run inside. And Stainrod coming in at the far post. Tony Galvin doing a good shuttling job there to have put him off. And then in the end, Stainrod stepped right across Galvin and Spurs got a free kick. But the nagging feeling at the back of Tottenham's mind now must be that they've had such good chances and failed to take them, that maybe the opportunity to clinch the match has passed them by. We shall see. Rangers have been given 2 or 3 reprieves. Perryman. Tackle was by Waddock. Hazard. Wanted rather too long on the ball there, Mick Hazard, and Ian Gillard coming through quickly to block the attempted pass. Paul Miller. Micklewhite in well. Stainrod on the far side with Houghton. There'll be some tired limbs out there now. The pace of the game may well drop in extra time. But Crooks got a nice touch on the ball there to Roberts. And he's gone for the return as Crooks. And Roberts is looking for him. And Crooks went half off balance from Hazel's challenge. And it all came to nothing.
Well, Garth Crooks there knew that he was almost on the ball and not quite, and was ready to go down, hoping that Clive White might want to see a goal this afternoon, as we all do, and point to the penalty spot. But he didn't. He was fair and just, and no decision. But it is dangerous. That last chance that Archibald had from this position, I'd have said, oh, I think he was offside. But so often, as we found out, linesmen are spot on and absolutely accurate, and it plays really to agree with them under these circumstances. But there's nothing in it. Either side at this stage of the game could get the 1 goal to win it. Nothing in it now, never mind what's past.
Hazel for Queen's Park Rangers. I suppose viewers phoning in for their man of the match, many of them must have picked Peter Hucker, I would have thought. Gary Brooks made a number of warm-up runs down the touchline. That is customary with the Spurs substitute. Going back to Peter Hucker, I gather that already many viewers have phoned in and selected him, up to this point anyway, as their man of the match. And don't forget, last year it was won by Joe Corrigan over the 2 matches that the first year we presented the trophy. So who knows, it might be a keeper again. Here's Stainrod. Free kick to Rangers, foul by Perryman. Stainrod's making the most of it. Well, Terry Venables has masterminded so many goals from free kicks, so many moves that have led to goals. Gregory was up, so was Crooks for Tottenham. Half-hearted appeal from a Rangers player, and Glenn Hoddle just settles for safety. Ray Clements is doing some very busy organising back there, making sure that Tottenham keep their concentration, or trying to. The long throw here would have been Stainrod's, but Curry has taken over and played it short to Gillard. They've got Gregory in there again. Bob Hazel with a chance, and played back by Fenwick in the deflection, sending the ball out for the corner. As Rangers press, and Terry Fenwick proves a threat again from set pieces. He stayed forward after the original free kick, and he's there again now. So is Gregory. Flanagan thinks about going across to take it himself. And they're all switching positions again here. Tottenham have got players in abundance to meet that. Glenn Hoddle might look for the early one for Archibald. Now, can he hold it up for Crooks? He can, and there's a good break on the left from Tony Galvin. Really well played by Galvin. He's carried it a long way, and he's found Houghton. There are three in the middle waiting. Here's Hoddle. And broken up by Glenn Roeder to Gregory. And there's Stainrod, and Rangers have got two other players forward. Micklewhite. Perryman's tackle, but it only goes as far as Tony Curry. Stainrod again. Micklewhite trying to shake off Garth Crooks. And referee Clive White very sensibly not listening to the crowd and saying that was a fair challenge. The Rangers end felt they'd shouted loud enough to get their team a free kick. So still, Tottenham 0, Queen's Park Rangers 0 in this all-London Cup final. There have been chances, they haven't been taken, and there goes Archibald. Too much pace on the ball there, easy for the goalkeeper. Well, we compared him to Ray Clements and talked about the gap in experience, but Ray will have admired the way Peter Huck has played at the other end, I know that. And the header on might just find Flanagan. Well, we're in the 101st minute of the 101st Cup final, but we haven't seen a goal. Little back heel from Bob Hazel to Gillard. And the long ball again, but this time it's fallen for Flanagan. Bit of tiredness there about the attempted interception by Tottenham, by Tony Galvin actually, but Perryman battles away, and he finds Crooks. Now then, Archibald to his left. Onside. No, he's not. He's not this time. He's not onside, he's off. Well, on the very occasion that he put the ball in the net, the red flag of Alex Hamill ruled the goal out. It just looked to me for a split second as though he'd hung back long enough, and Archibald must feel the same, to have got the benefit of the doubt again. But this time, the linesman's flag was up, and once again, we must believe him. It went up a split second late. Micklewhite. Roberts turning it back. It's frustrating for Archibald to have missed two and then put the third one in and be ruled out. Houghton. Carrying it forward again well from the back. Still Chris Houghton, that's a lovely run, but he just tried to take on one man too many. And the man that stopped him was Tony Curry, and he's down, and the handball by Perryman. And referee Clive White, I think, may, as Curry hobbles back, I think there could be a booking there for deliberate handball. Steve Perryman has a smile on his face. He puts his hand up, but because he put his hand up earlier, he was cautioned. Tony Curry, having stopped the last Tottenham attack, is now limping quite badly. Fennick is coming in from the far side on this. Gregory hanging on. Here's Bob Hazel. Rangers still with plenty of players in attack. Up goes Steinrod. Chance perhaps for Micklewhite as it drops. And I'm almost certain now that Tottenham are going to introduce Gary Brook. Fresh pair of legs is needed in their midfield and attack. But at the moment, it's Galvin ploughing on. And offside. Offside against Graham Roberts. Mick Hazard, who's perhaps not had his best game of the season by any means, he's kept going, socks rolled down, and I would have thought he's the man now to go off. Looks that way. And on comes Spurs' youngest player, 21-year-old Gary Brook, an East Londoner who came on in the final last year in the first match against Manchester City and had some impact, as indeed he's had in recent matches when he's been deputising for Tony Galvin. He's scored 4 good goals recently. Can he score one today, I wonder? We've got 2 minutes left in the first period of extra time, and there's still no score. Curry. And Gary Brook, look what a fresh pair of legs can do. All bubbly and sharp and ready to try and get Spurs moving, but needing to find his touch. Rain coming down again to dampen what has so far been quite a sunny afternoon. Steve Perryman. Price. Roberts. Oh dear. I think we're going to see tiredness creeping in now, but Perryman has the ball for Tottenham. Crooks is calling on the far side. Archibald's in the middle as well. So is Waddock for Rangers. Galvin will need to be quicker than Steinrod. And the referee blows for the end of the first period of extra time. There's still no score. And let's get a word from Jimmy as the teams change round.
Been wondering what it is that Spurs have been missing, really, to carve out just that many more chances to make sure that they get 1 or 2 goals. And I think maybe we haven't seen Galvin running on the flanks as he can do and getting in dangerous crosses from the goal line. He's made 1 or 2 penetrative runs through the middle, but that's been rather crowding things out and not given the Spurs the extra width which he does give them when he makes those runs. And I think that, you know, his 70-80% fitness has been a feature in that part of Spurs game. But you've got to hand it to Rangers. Tony Curry, 1 minute he looks half dead, the next minute he's on the ball, he wriggles round using his energy, beats 2 men, whacks a long ball and refuses to lie down, and that spirit is in the Rangers side, and that's dangerous for Spurs, I reckon.
And Tony Curry having time too to look around and inspire the younger players as the second half of extra time starts, with Tottenham now playing from right to left. Here's Galvin. I'll say what I said last year and remind you that you may have to change your plans for Thursday night if there's a replay. There was then. Here's Roeder for Rangers. Thursday evening here at Wembley is the scheduled replay date. There goes Flanagan. Spurs will be thinking all the time that they should have put one of those chances away. Perryman had 1, and he's coming forward now, and so did Archibald. He had 3 altogether. Hoddle. Oh, Hoddle's played well Again, that's a beautiful ball looking for Galvin. And Terry Fenwick appeals, but it is a corner. Played short to Gary Brook. And Brook takes them on, and Tony Curry is the man stopping him. There's been some, and again, Curry acknowledging the crowd. He's done some good defensive duty this afternoon as Tony Curry. Micklewhite, a bit of a tug and a pull there, all right, by Roberts. Well, are we going to see the first ever goalless FA Cup final at Wembley? Stainrod. Gregory's in there dangerously. Galvin for Tottenham. Oh, he didn't look injured then, did he? Tremendous run. There are two in the centre. Crooks. Pulled it back for Hoddle, and Steve Perryman making the extra man again. Bob Hazel making what in the end turned out to be the perfect clearance. Waddock, and might get Flanagan away offside, surely. Well, there's been some character shown by one or two players today who've overcome their personal battle for fitness. Bob Hazel particularly, who was hurt early in the game. He's been a tower of strength for Queen's Park Rangers. And Tony Curry has worked well too. Here's Galvin. Houghton. Little Gary Brook, he'll try a shot from here. Oh, that's the sort of spectacular stuff the fans want to see. Driven by Gary Brook from distance with his right foot. And Peter Hucker, well, he's entitled to save that actually, but he did so in some style. Could the substitute make the difference for Tottenham? And Miller comes round the back, and the header out, which wasn't terribly impressive, was John Gregory. But he was able to breathe freely afterwards. For how long? Up goes Price. That was Gregory this time with a much firmer header, and Simon Stainrod with a chance maybe to move away for Rangers. Oh, good tackle by Hoddle on Waddock. Roberts. Hoddle. Hoddle! It's there! It's there! He won it with the tackle and he scored the goal! Glenn Hoddle, the pride of Tottenham, has sent the fans delirious again. Hoddle won it with the initial tackle on Gary Waddock. Waddock was on the floor when this happened, injured. Hoddle shot, it went through Tony Curry's legs, may have even slightly brushed the inside of his leg. Hucker unsighted, 1-0 to Spurs. And Glenn Hoddle has produced it again when it matters for Tottenham. It did just get a deflection off Tony Curry, but it's Hoddle's goal. And the man who he tackled to win the ball in the middle of the field, Gary Waddock, the man who they feared in the tackle himself, was left on the floor by Hoddle's determination. Put out the game, has still received attention even now, and Hucker, you feel sorry for him, because the shot got a quick deflection off Curry, and the rain lashes down, but it won't dampen the ardour of the Tottenham supporters. 10 minutes to go in the 1982 Cup final, in extra time, Hoddle for Spurs. After all his defensive duties, Tony Curry had the misfortune to see that go through his legs, clip him, and go wide of the keeper. Perhaps at the end of this marathon season, there's a trophy for Tottenham after all. And Hoddle, who stacked his England class on the match, with distribution of the highest class, got into a shooting position and showed the others how it should be done. He saved the final here last year with that free kick, which was deflected by Hutchison. That was an own goal, but Hoddle will claim that one for Keith Birkinshaw's team. Archibald. Now what Spurs have got to do now is not get careless. As Gillard plays the ball forward, and the ricochet, Archibald could be in here on Roda. Couldn't blame the goalkeeper there. Waddock for Rangers. Hazel. Oh, they're getting tired now. It was a lazy pass. And Hoddle might strike an even better one now out to Brook. Look at Curry. It's funny how sometimes over the years these two splendid midfield players have been questioned for their commitment, but Curry has given everything today, and Hoddle won that ball for Tottenham before the goal with the kind of tackle that has not always been his trademark, but it is now. Over goes Miller. Still, Rangers have still got time to do something about it. 7.5 minutes to be exact. That's a goal kick. Glenn Hoddle now with his socks rolled down, but he'll be pleased to see that scoreboard and the Spurs fans underneath it as the rain pours down, and Hoddle and the other players drag some last ounces of strength now out of their tired legs. Houghton for Tottenham. On the right-hand side, Tottenham have got players to spare, but Chris Houghton trying to go alone and losing the ball. Steinrod, could be dangerous this. Flanagan in a good position. Driven a bit wide. Steinrod's coming in on the far post. Miller to clear, not very well. Waddock. Waddock shots and Clements was all the way behind it. The tension there reflected in that both managers are standing up to get a better view. They've gone into the drier part of the stadium, I fancy, because it's absolutely pouring now. Archibald. Six minutes to go. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Looked like a possible foul by Roberts on Micklewhite, but nothing's been given. And the whole of the tunnel end of the stadium, which they used to call the lucky end until City lost last year, is a mass of Tottenham flags. Gary Brook, who came on as substitute, has lost the ball and forced Price to make a very hurried clearance. Well, it's almost like winter now, the way the rain's coming down. The afternoon has turned in more ways than one. Steinrod with the long throw for Queen's Park Rangers. Roberts, it was Hazel's flick, and Fenwick was in there, and it's a goal! Terry Fenwick. The set-piece ploy works again. Fenwick is the scorer. 5 minutes left, and it's Rangers' turn to celebrate. And the long throw works again. Simon Steinrod took it. Watch for the flick on by Bob Hazel, number 5. Watch Terry Fenwick come in at the far post. And a header over Ray Clement's head. It's 1-1. 115 minutes gone, and there's the equaliser. Terry Venables off the hook, for the moment anyway. Well, Tottenham must be kicking themselves now. They appear to have it won, but they haven't. So many times Queen's Park Rangers have produced a goal from a throw-in or a corner. Galvin. 4 minutes to go. And by the way, Wembley history has been made there. That's the first time a fullback has ever scored a goal in a Wembley Cup final, apart from a penalty kick. Terry Fenwick, the first man ever to do it. The last one, in fact, was a penalty by Eddie Shinwell of Blackpool in 1948. And Fenwick puts his name in the record books. To Archibald. So it looks like a replay on Thursday, but don't let's speak too soon. It looked like a Tottenham victory a couple of minutes ago, and those two men, with so much at stake, stand shoulder to shoulder and mask their emotions. 3 minutes to go. Fenwick for Rangers, the goal scorer. We don't think there's very much injury time in this session, so it'll be probably 3 minutes now to the final whistle as Perryman looks for Archibald. Still Archibald. Miller. Well, Spurs were so close. Price. Tottenham have made a tactical switch here. Graham Roberts has gone into the back four. 2 minutes to go. Hoddle flicking it on. Archibald to Brook. In it goes for Hoddle. Can he do something here? He can't. But it's going to come out to Steve Perryman. Miller has pushed forward here for Tottenham now. He's playing as an attacker. Roberts. And Perryman's got in round the back, but the cross will come to Archibald. Galvin. Brook. Roberts. Hoddle is hovering. Don Hazel's touch was vital. And Archibald's was harmless. Well, it's the Rangers fans who are making the noise now, and why not? They've saved the final and probably forced a replay. Hoddle on. And you wouldn't begrudge a replay to Peter Hucker, would you? He kept Rangers in the game for so long. And this man, Terry Fenwick, snatched the equaliser from the long throw. 30 seconds we make it now. So the FA Cup might have to be kept in that royal retiring room and put away for a few days, and not brought out for Her Royal Highness Princess Anne to present. A replay for only the third time in Wembley history, and the second time in consecutive years, now seems certain. And the whistle confirms the fact. Terry Fenwick from the northeast saves the Cockney Cup final for Queen's Park Rangers. Keith Birkinshaw, who's had so much disappointment this season, Spurs thought they'd won it through Glenn Hoddle, and they had it snatched away from them, as indeed they've had 3 other prizes snatched away already this season. And Fenwick shows his delight. The first fullback ever to score from open play in a Wembley final. And what a priceless goal for the second division side. A replay next Thursday here at Wembley. Don't forget, there's one important point about the replay, which Terry Venables is totally aware of. Glenn Roeder cannot play. The Rangers captain will be suspended from the replay because he was sent off at Luton in a league match, and the suspension starts 14 days from the sending off, which will be on Tuesday. So I would imagine that John Gregory will captain the team, and Roda, applauding the fans, will be disappointed to know that he can't play in the second match. Rangers will have to adjust their back four. Clive Allen, whose day ended early with an ankle injury, and one wonders whether he could possibly be fit for Thursday. It would appear not from that picture, but time is a great healer. So no presentations, just a joint lap of honour. So it wasn't, after all, Ian Gillard's last match for Queen's Park Rangers. It was billed as such by some people, but as I was saying earlier, he'll surely play in the replay. While Tony Curry this afternoon gave a performance full of guts and character. And Bob Hazel, one could say exactly the same about him. Both players received injuries, but in front of this outstanding young goalkeeper, who had hardly been heard of before January when he came into the team, they forced a replay. So, at the end of extra time, the 101st FA Cup final ends between these two London clubs. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1.